good morning, good day to all on Cayman Hurricane Center, and welcome to another tropical update here, folks. We are again closely monitoring our Hurricane Rafael, which again had rapidly or rather quickly developed as it made its way to the Cayman Islands. Hurricane Rafael passed in between Grand Cayman and the sister islands, a bit closer to to the sister islands, with a pretty much a direct hit on Little Cayman. It did manage to escape a landfall. Again, there is a slight difference between a landfall and a direct hit. Direct hit meaning the core impacted within 50 miles. A landfall is where, and again, I'll be using the logo image just to reference here. The landfall would be considered as when the land intersects the center of the ice. So once landmass passes the center, then that is deemed as a landfall. So we had a direct hit on Little Cayman, and of course causing some significant impacts there onto Little Cayman. Of course, with the tight nature of the hurricane, impacts in Cayman Brac were again notable, but notably also less than Little Cayman. Grand Cayman impacts were also considered minimal as well. Also, folks, coming up a little bit later today, I will have some video from the storm boxes that we have. Again, thanks to Hurricane Track and Mark Sudduth for providing those to the Cayman Islands. And we actually have the footage on Grand Cayman. We were looking at trying to get one of the cams to the sister islands. However, again, timing of getting it over there and the timing of when the airport shut down operations didn't necessarily allow us to get those cams over there. But we do have cam footage from Grand Cayman. Again, not too much, but there are some stuff there. So have a look a little bit later on today. We'll have those footage up so you can see. So here was satellite imagery here of as it was passing through the Cayman Islands and then into western Cuba. Note here, folks, that Rafael did become a major hurricane upon its approach to western Cuba. As the hurricane passed by and made landfall here. It did weaken a bit to a Category 2, but notably last night, the system did end up re-intensifying back into a major hurricane. And, matter of fact, even stronger of a major hurricane that it was when before it made landfall in Cuba. So quite interesting to note that. So how do things stand now at this point? Again, here is the wider shot here, and our hurricane is again continues to be a major hurricane in the central Gulf now. Pushing on westbound. We do have some good news here, so we're going to mention that in just a moment. But again, just quickly running through the current advisories so one can know the status here. Again, moving westwards through the Gulf of Mexico. As of the update a little bit earlier this morning, we'll have a new update coming out here shortly. Was located around 24.5, 88.0, 245 miles northeast of Progreso, Mexico, 585 east of the mouth of the Rio Grande. Winds, again, were at 120 miles per hour. The movement west at 9, pressure 956 millibars. Again, the system is expected to move west, and we could have a bit of a slight west northwest move, or even a little bit of a loop over the western Gulf, a small one, before the system then expected to drift off towards the south and southwest. It is expected to meander and stick around across the Gulf for the next several days, so it's going to be sticking around for us for a while. Luckily, we're not expecting any immediate threats to land, and as such, we don't have any watches or warnings in effect at this point in time. Again, the southern and southwestern Gulf should closely monitor, as well as the northeastern Gulf. Again, the forecast is still a little bit uncertain of what could happen here, but we'll be watching that closely. Again, we are expecting that some fluctuations, maybe some weakening, steady weakening expected through the weekend and onwards into next week. So we'll be noting that. Hurricane force winds 30 miles from the center, tropical storm force 115. So, of course, our hurricane notably larger than what it was on its approach to the Cayman Islands. Again, swells generated by Rafael are expected to spread across much of the Gulf of Mexico during the next few days. So, again, here's the forecast track here, folks. And as we could see, we are expecting that the system will track west, west, northwest, maybe do a little bit of a loop before coming down to the south. Again, with the forecast guidance here, there are still a bit of a spread. Again, generally speaking, they are suggesting this loop down to the south here with this. There are some that do sort of loop around the system and then sort of comes back around off to the northeast. But there are only just a few guides that are doing that. Majority of them are taking it down to the south and eventually weakening it into a remnant low by that time as we get into the middle portions of next week. But we're going to be watching that as we go forwards. Now, folks, I do want to mention so what's next? We do have some stuff that we are monitoring. Going back here to our current satellite here, we do have a bit of a disturbance up here, trough of low pressure. Also sort of interacting with an upper level system. This will track generally westbound to this area. We may be seeing some slight increase of conditions for this area here. Obviously for northern sections of Hispaniola as well. But again, there is the chance for development. The National Hurricane Center does give this sort of low probability. There is some chance of some slow development, but we're not expecting anything significant, even if it does. If it does and become a named storm, it could take the name of Sarah, but that would be about it. If it does, not expecting anything else. What we are going to be keeping an eye on, though, however, is this tropical wave here. In the next few days, will be moving generally west, interacting with the monsoon trough, and we could see an area of low pressure here develop, and that could potentially become our next significant system that we're going to need to be watching, especially for the Western Caribbean. Cayman Islands, Cuba, yet again, we're going to have to be watching out for this. Just having a quick look here at the guidance, and we could see, again, our first system here. Of course, Rafael in the Gulf, our next system near Puerto Rico, Hispaniola. Again, look out for the tropical wave over the southeastern Caribbean region. And we can see our first system, not too much to speak of, but we note that our other area of low pressure starts to develop, sort of meandering around the monsoon trough, and then ramps up. And then, folks, we're going to have to be watching closely as we get into the latter portions of next week, next weekend, and going on. We could be talking about another system here. We'll have more on this in upcoming updates, so do look out for that. That's all from us here at Cayman Hurricane Center. We'll have another update later today.